awful bright in there. Isn't it? Oh, it's like some days it's bright, some days it's not. Welcome, Facebook family. Yes, we are live again today. I got a curveball for you today, though. Some of you might be a little disappointed, but some of you will understand why. I want to just say that this is our Dig Deeper book review. We also do expert interviews on our Wednesday live Facebook, but today we're digging deeper into one of our books. And so I want you guys to be part of that and learn and kind of see exactly what we're doing. So I encourage you to be part of our Go Live Facebook live streams. We do them every Tuesday at 1:30 Eastern Time Zone, which is our real estate investing talk show. We also go live every Wednesday at 1:30 Eastern Time Zone, which is our Dig Deeper book review or interview with an expert. Now, if you're not part of our Monday REI success tips that we do on Mondays, you need to be part of that. Up in the description somewhere, you'll see a link that you can go to and give us your name and email, and we'll send you these REI success tips every single Monday. So Mondays, we send you free training on REI success tips. Tuesdays, we go live on our Facebook live stream to talk about real estate in today's market and all kinds of cool little things. Wednesdays, we go live for our Dig Deeper book reviews. And Thursdays, we send out student success stories. So all week long, you can be engaging with us. And that's super powerful that you be part of what we're doing, because here's why. I know a lot of you may not know who we are as a company to start, and you're trying to figure us out. That's why we do this, so that you can see the value that we put out there on a daily basis for students like you to be part of what we do, so that you can start to slowly learn and be part of the growth that you're intended to do inside real estate. Everything takes a commitment. We're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about commitments that I've made in my life. We're going to talk about commitments that it takes to be successful as a real estate investor. We're going to talk about commitments and understanding of real estate in the book I'm reviewing today. But to talk on a broad subject, whether it's real estate or any business, there is a huge commitment you've got to make to yourself. And that commitment is, where do you want to be in life, and what are you willing to sacrifice to achieve that? Think about that question, because I don't care if you want to be a real estate investor, or if you want to be, a mechanic, or if you want to be own a spa or a daycare, or even a dog grooming business. That's a little inside joke. It doesn't matter. Whatever that commitment that you say to yourself, this is where I want to go. You've got to be full force behind that. You've got to understand that there are going to be sacrifices that you have to make, whether it be real estate or any other business, because you're embracing a new identity. You're embracing a new adventure. You're going to have moments of doubt. You're going to have moments of curiosity. You're going to have moments of insecurity. You're going to have moments of frustration and happiness. It is a roller coaster ride anytime you set off on a journey to really embrace something that you want. And I share that with you because those that are strong enough to manage that roller coaster are the ones that succeed. And at the end of the day, I can tell you this, out of all the companies I've ever started, created, bought, sold, none of them ever started the way I intended or the way I perceived them to start. And you have to be willing to really move with that change and be okay with making moves and changing to get you where you need to be. because you're the one that's in control of your destiny. You're the one that's in control of your journey. Only you can lead you to the path of success. That's the key thing. And I encourage you that you need to embrace some type of consulting or mentoring or be part of something that will teach you that process in your journey to success. And so that journey to success in what we're talking about is through real estate. And real estate has changed more lives in this world than any other thing. It is one of the top producers of turning people into millionaires. And that's why I want to share today in this book review, my new book. Look at there. My First Deal Playbook. That's what we're going to share. I know some of you came on here ready for the Steve Jobs book. Let me just enlighten you on something real quick. I feel like my head is so shiny on here today.
I could get you some powder.
I don't need any powder. But the Steve Jobs book really is going to take me 2 weeks to get through. And so I don't want to teach a week, skip a week, and teach a week on that book. It's so impactful, and so much of it works together. So what I'm going to do is because next week, you guys know I'm headed to Florida on another vacation with the kiddos again. And when I get back, I'm going to have 2 consecutive weeks back to back that I can go through the innovation secrets of Steve Jobs. So I'm pushing that out until I get back from vacation. So that first Wednesday would be what, Jill? That I'm back. Do you know? Is it it's the 12th, okay? Let me pipe down my student advisors real quick. Guys, I'm live. All right, they get so excited in there. They're helping people. They just love what they do. But sometimes I got to remind them what we're doing in here. So on the 12th, when I come back, I'm going to dig into the innovation secrets of Steve Jobs. But today, before we part ways next week, I'm going to dig into my First Deal Playbook for you. Now, I got something really special for you if you guys want to participate. How many of you like participation? I love participation, okay? So I got all kinds of beeping going on over here. So here's the thing. We haven't even really launched this book yet. So I don't know if you guys can see it with all the glare, but I'm going to give away this book today. Anybody that's on this page, you will be able to get it. I'm going to pay for the book. All the publishing and printing that had to be done, I'm going to pay for that. All I need you to do is just pay for the shipping and handling, just so that we can put it in an envelope and ship it to you. That's it. So I'm going to give a free book to you. You pay for the shipping. I'll pay for the book, and I'll give it to you for free today. All you need to do is like this video, share this video, and write in the comments, my First Deal Playbook. If you do that, if you share this video, you like this video, and you write, my First Deal Playbook, then we're going to reach out to you, and we're going to get all your information, where we're going to ship this to, and I'm going to send you a copy of the book for free on me. Ba-boom. Why? Because I want you to go through this book. I want you to give me so many more success stories I've already gotten from all kinds of students that have been reading this book and how powerful it is. So this book is yours. You just got to type in My First Deal Playbook. You got to share the video and like the page, and it is yours. Okay? So we're going to dig deep into this book. I've got so many cool things to talk about, and I don't know why this is. Oh, there it is. Okay, I lost my cursor for a minute. So, as usual, we're here in the office of REI Success Academy, helping students all day long. I got a student in the boardroom right now. I'm breaking down his business for him. I'm taking a break to come in here and talk to you guys. I got Jill in the back. Say hi, Jill.
Hey, hey.
Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey. Okay, anyways, you guys don't want to see me dance. So my question is always about, what do you need the most help with? And I hope through your questions, you start to gain the knowledge and the insight on what you need so that we can help guide you down that path. That's what this is about. It's about helping you get where you need to be. And that's the main reason I wrote this new book. Because I've got lots of stuff out there, but I had a lot of people coming to me saying, Zach, what would you do if you was brand new again? What would you do if you had to start all over again? What would you do if you had nothing? How would you restart? What would be the things you would think about? What would you look at? What would you be curious? Or how would you know that you're in the right markets? Or how would you know you're in the right deals? And so I thought long and hard about what everybody kept asking me, whether I was out speaking or I was at my RIA or I was just sitting around with friends by the fire, by my pool, and just talking. And a lot of my friends, they're always curious because I don't really, constantly talk about real estate anymore like I used to when I first started. But a lot of them are always like, Zach, you've come so far and you've done so well. What was it that, you think was the defining moment when you got started? And so I really thought a lot about that and realized that I don't really have a book out there that kind of talks about that. And so that's why I put this book together, My First Deal Playbook. Now remember, if you want a copy of this book, you need to write in there, My First Deal Playbook, in the comment line. You got to share the video and like the page, and you will get this book. I will pay for this book. All you got to do is pay for the shipping and handling. I'm going to pay for the book because I had it printed. You pay for the shipping and it's yours, okay? So let's talk about this book a little bit. Why do I call it Your Pocket Guide to Real Estate Success? Because it's such an easy read. It's not something that's going to take you 15 days to get through. You could read this thing literally in an afternoon or in an evening, or you could read it sitting out by your pool. This is an easy read. It's your pocket guide. So there's 11 main chapters in this book. And each chapter is written in a way to help build upon the previous chapter so that you stay consistent in the process of leading you down how to get your business started. So, for instance, in chapter 1, I write in here how it all started. So if you're ever curious about how things got started, this is how it is. Now, I've got some great quotes in here, and I'll read the first one to you. I love this quote. I don't know the author of it, so if you know the author, enlighten me. But it says, I cheated on my fears, broke up with my doubts, got engaged in my faith, and now I'm marrying my dreams. Isn't that a beautiful quote? I cheated on my fears, meaning I'm not going to let them control me. I broke up with my doubts, so therefore no longer am I listening to the negative in my mind. And I got engaged with my faith, meaning that I believed in myself. I'm willing to stand strong to myself and stand next to me and walk that journey. And now I'm marrying my dreams. That is a beautiful quote. And that's how we started the book. And so chapter 1 is all about how it all started with me, and really about you, encouraging you that you're in this book and you should keep reading it. And one of the things I talk about in this first part was just my ignorance. And I write in here, 15 years ago I was struggling. I was down on my luck, I had lost a job, and I was facing bankruptcy. I had credit card companies and collection agencies constantly calling me. Life circumstances had me down. That is why I will never forget the first time I was introduced to real estate. I was under the impression, like most people, that you had to have a license or that you had to work with an agent. I believed that great credit was an absolute necessity or that a huge bank account was a must. I thought it was only for the rich. Well, I was so wrong. It is not for the rich, it's for the hungry. And that's the key there. See, when you don't know all the creative sides of things, then you're misleaded in thinking that you got to have all this money to do real estate. You got to have an agent, and you got to, do the process like everybody else. And that's not true. When you understand the power of marketing, and you understand the power of lead intake systems, and you understand the power of how there are strategies that allow you to do deals without any of your money, things change. It's not only for the hungry, it's for the ones who are willing to reach out and change their lives. It's for the ones who are willing to push the boundaries in which they are going and to not just accept life for what it has been. I discovered these truths and I really created a better life for myself. That passionate desire to grow myself, my life, and my financial well-being led me down the path to seek information about real estate investing. And that's what was really a change for me, is like I knew where I was at was not good and I wanted change. And so I had to overcome some of the myths that people put on us. So I'll go on to say, so I started down an exciting path like you are doing right here today. I began seeking information through reading, studying everything I could to get my hands on. I also looked at directions for others with the knowledge I wanted because I was coachable. I knew that I needed to be coached to do this business. I can tell that even you guys on here are coachable because you're learning, you're growing. I knew that there was a massive amount of information in the marketplace on real estate investing, so much that anyone could get lost in that information, which is what happens to a lot of you. Not that the information was bad, the volume of it was just seemed overwhelming. I needed to focus on a very fine-tuned path that could carry out and I could master. And that's the key there, guys. It's not being consumed with all the information. It's finding a straight line path to get you where you wanted to be. So, and the first chapter is really good. It talks more about it. By continuing along the current road, will that grant you the ability to live life on your terms? That's a big, bold question that you need to think about. Let me tell you about what Joel said here. Joel said, from the moment, or this was me explaining Joel. From the moment I met Joel, which was a student of mine that I helped to retire, and he's just doing amazing things right now. I knew he was going to make it. However, trying to help, he saw it was quite a challenge. He hired me as a consultant in his business. He really didn't have much experience. His job was an auditor. Naturally, he questioned everything. You might also have reservations about the process or in yourself. But as I told Joel, give me 12 months and I will have you retired from your job. He trusted the process, he believed in me, and he believed that I could help him. Once he believed, he didn't question anything I told him to do, which made him coachable. And within that 12 months, not only did we replace his income, but well exceeded it. I remember the day he left his long-term job. He now makes a very comfortable living while he dedicates as much time as he wants to his family. Isn't that the beauty when people listen? So chapter 2 is all about why real estate, because a lot of people reading this book, they've never done a deal before. They don't even know what real estate may be entailed for them. And so we dig into just helping people understand. And I started with a quote. Success in real estate starts with believing you are worthy of it. That's a huge thing, because let me explain something to you. If you've been making $20,000 or $30,000 your entire life, a year, and then all of a sudden you look at real estate and it has the potential to give you $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 a year in income, you have a tendency to pull back a little bit, because that type of money has never been fathomable for you or even considered to make that type of money. But you got to believe you're worth it. Like, you're worth it. Look, you're worth it. Every day of the week you're worth it. You're not only just worth that, but you're worth everything that you want to be. Okay? And so why real estate is a good chapter. It helps you understand that, the different things. Like, you could do anything to make money. You could drive an Uber. You could be a pizza delivery guy. But somewhere along your journey, you heard just enough about real estate investing to pique your interest. And that's why you're with us today. Okay? And so I explain in here what's going on in the real estate market and why you need to be involved in it. But I also talk about a little bit more, and I say here, another thing that I want you to understand about real estate is that it is all about timing. We are in the best market we have seen in years, okay? You, my friend, need to know how to execute on that. Real estate is about not just oh, wait for the market to come back up or wait for the market. It's about understanding the time in which the cycle you're in so you know how to deploy those strategies. You see, whether a market goes up or a market goes down, it is really irrelevant if you have been trained by the right coach to show you how to profit in every market cycle. Good money can be made in real estate investing whichever direction the market is moving. And I talk about that in that chapter and why it's important. Now, chapter 3 is really where we start digging a little deeper. Why I love chapter 3 and chapter 4. Because I think this is a missing link to most new investors. Oh, by the way, I just choked. If you're just joining us, I'm giving away copies of my free book today. I'm paying for the publishing. I'm paying for the printing. All you got to do is pay for the shipping and handling, and we'll ship it out to you literally today. What do you need to do? You need to share this video. You need to like this video. And you need to type in the comments, My First Deal Playbook. Type that in the comments. My First Deal Playbook. We'll reach out to you. We'll ship you a copy of the book. And we'll get all your information. But you got to type in My First Deal Playbook if you want a copy of that. So chapter 3, what is the best investing strategy for you? This is where so many people make a huge mistake, is they don't even truly understand all the investing strategies. And I put one of my quotes in here. And it says, don't do what others are doing in hopes of success. Hope, the key word. Don't do what others are doing and hope that you're going to make success. Find your own path to success. That, to me, is directly in line with understanding the best investing strategy for you. A lot of people come to me and they say, Zach, I want to wholesale. And once I spend time with them and I really figure out where they are in their business, the reality is they don't need to be wholesaling. They need to be doing more buy and holds and fix and flips, but they just, for some reason, didn't realize that that was the best opportunity for them. And so I want you to know that, and I want you to be very clear in the understanding that just because you think wholesaling sounds great has nothing to do with whether or not you should be wholesaling or not, okay? Because I think I might have figured out this glare issue.
Oh.
Maybe it was because of all the white on the background there.
You know, I know that you're not necessarily talking. I think that we should validate too that it's okay for people to be confused by all the information, because God knows. I think back when I first started working for you,
right?
And I don't think that people realize how much you actually do for everybody. It's not just your students. Like you took me. Without you, I wouldn't be in a position where I was, and I really was a struggling single mom.
Yeah, I remember. I remember.
There was nothing to pull from, and there was cleaning puke off of floors to feed your kids.
Right.
So people don't necessarily realize how much that you are there to help, and it's everybody on a whole.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, I love real estate, and I'm here to help real estate, but I do feel like that anybody I run across in life, not that everybody wants to hear what I have to say, but my brain just works different than most people. I look at situations differently, and like, how could they change something, or how could they flip something, and then their whole life would change. And I think that only comes because of just all the different journeys I've been down and how many things I've done that people told me I couldn't do.
Right, and you don't teach necessarily one way, because I can attest to the fact that I have asked you several, probably hundreds of thousands of questions over these past 3 years, and you've had to like go back and reword it a different way.
Yeah.
For my train of thought.
Well, and that goes back to, if you watch any of my like negotiation trainings, I talk about NLP and how to be an effective communicator, you have to be able to communicate to a person the way they hear.
Yep. Not
the way we hear. Because like I hear short bits. Like you could come to me and cut out all the bells and whistles and just give me 3 words, and I'd be like, all right, I got it. But, you know, most people want to come in and, oh, blah, let me tell you, and I'm just like, get to the point. Because my brain just doesn't, you know, all that I get lost in. So
my point was, though, that you're there to help them, and it is confusing, and that's okay.
It is okay. But getting the help is what's important, guys.
Yes.
So I talk about in this chapter 3, what is the best investing strategy for you? And you really need to be thoughtful about how you start this journey, is what I say in this book. I say that because I have seen a lot of people getting in the wrong support or the wrong training. You know, they jump into real estate trying to do a strategy or investing that they've just heard about or believe will soar their business immediately. However, it does not work for their current situation or their financial state of affairs. Perhaps it's just a bad strategy for them to start with. And that's the downside to this, guys, is that there's a lot of people that start real estate and they choose a strategy, but they did no market research. They don't know if that strategy is actually going to work in their market or not, and yet they go try it and it doesn't work, and so they blame real estate and real estate don't work. No, it has nothing to do with real estate not working. Real estate works everywhere, even in Alabama. It has everything to do with your understanding that strategies work at different times in different markets. And that is like a huge thing that I talk about in this chapter, is how do you know? What do you have access to? Do you have banks that you can work with? Do you have relationships with lenders that can fund you? Do you have people that can borrow money from? Do you have relationships with hard money lenders that can provide funding for you? Do you have access to some or all that of all those? Do you have the need for immediate cash right now? Do you have the need for consistent cash flow? You got to examine your resources, needs, and assets, and you got to really do a discovery on yourself at this point. In the next chapter, I'm going to talk about these strategies a little bit more, I say in here. So this is what's so invaluable about this book right here, is I'm really logically breaking this down for you so that you understand that anybody can tell you, oh, go find a deal and make money on it. Do you know how easy that can be? And there's people out there that sell, 100,000 books a year or a month doing that. But that ain't got nothing to do with real estate. Real estate's got everything to do with understanding how to set the expectation for what you really can and can't do, and so that you come in this understanding what you need to be doing to actually get stuff done. So here I say this. So with that said, just remember one thing: do not daydream. This business has a way of taking the most brilliant people and changing their whole mindset. They believe they are building and growing an enterprise because they get fascinated on a strategy that they want so bad, but they may not have the skill sets to do it. They may not have any guidance or know-how to proceed after a certain point. Consistently, they get pigeonholed and they keep doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results, and that's the definition of insanity. Do not be a daydreamer. You hear me? Be logical about this. Think hard about where you are and what you want to do with the imagination with this magnificent opportunity. Think hard about what you actually have the ability to do. I meet people all the time that are brand new to real estate investing. They've never conducted a deal before. They do not have much credit, or they do not have a whole lot of money. These people will come up to me and tell me that they're about to go out and start buying thousands of units in apartment buildings, and they are going to put these deals together and make $1 million a year. I do not ever want to discourage anyone from chasing their dreams, but I'm always blown away at how unrealistic that goal is. That's my point to you right now. Be logical. Be realistic. What can you and can you not do? And then work a plan to create what you need so that you can ultimately keep your focus on your retirement plan. Okay? Just like Shirley. I'm helping Shirley reach her retirement plan. And Shirley says this. Shirley is one of my favorite students. Well, I guess this is me talking about Shirley. Shirley is one of my favorite students of all times. It is very rare that I get a student that is as determined and immediately trusting of everything I tell her to do. Because she was so motivated and trusting, it made her road to business success that much faster. Shirley had challenged big time. Shirley had challenges big time in her market. It wasn't a market that she could reach her goal. She was nervous to look at outside markets, but she trusted my knowledge and experience. After we did some market segmentation in other markets, Shirley was able to lock up a very profitable fourplex and triplex. The triplex is a 44% cash-on-cash return, and the fourplex has a 49% cash-on-cash return. Listen, in my 2-day immersion that we just did, this is great to hear this too. We had a guy in there that had been trying to do this for a little bit, and he was in a market that was tough. And after, about 3 hours of him trying to figure it out, I realized he's in the wrong market. So I identified another market for him, and I pushed him into that market. And literally over the next 4 hours, he secured 5 deals, wholesaled one of them in class, and lined the other ones up with seller financing. That's the power of understanding how to shift a strategy into the right markets to capitalize so that you profit quickly. Chapter 4 is what is your strategy? This is where we lead you into really honing in on your strategy. And I have a quote in here from Helen Keller. The only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision. And I think that is so parallel to this chapter, which is, what is your strategy? Look, you could have all the sight in the world and go to all the seminars in the world and read all the books in the world, but if you do not have vision on where you want to go, it's useless. Might as well be blind, is what I say. So it's very important. So in this one, we talk about the 4 types or the 4 tiers. So if you're not familiar with those tiers, we teach on these tiers. Tier 1's wholesaling, Tier 2's creative financing, Tier 3's fix and flip, and Tier 4's buy and hold. And it helps you understand what level of investor you are as you grow into passive investing, which is Tier 4. And so this chapter is really not just saying, hey, you got to pick a strategy that works for you, but this chapter is now taking it to the next level and saying, these are the strategies. This is what it takes to do these strategies, and where are you in position to be able to execute on one of these strategies. So this whole chapter breaks down each and every one of these chapters to get you where you need to be. That's the key to this. Now, I'll tell you another great story about a guy named Olin Johnson. And he works offshore most of the time and then comes home. And so Olin is another student that went into virtual markets because why? His market just wasn't giving him what he needed. So I identified the other markets he needed to be in. His market just was not producing the deals for him to reach his goals. We worked with him on a plan to attain highly lucrative rental properties that have a high cash-on-cash return. Together, we found a package of duplexes in an amazing area. The seller is burnt out and ready to cash out and retire. These duplexes are all long-term rentals out except one of them. They are in a great part of town with a cul-de-sac. After we ran the numbers, Olin will have a 40% cash-on-cash return on this package of duplexes. When Olin locked these deals up, we only need 4 more deals like these for Olin to retire. Did you hear me on that? I only need 4 more. So this is a big thing for him. His job requires him to travel. A lot of times real estate has nothing to do with the amount of money you want. It has everything to do with the lifestyle that you're trying to achieve. So think about that. Chapter 5. This is where we get a little more deeper with you. So now that you understand the process, you understand what strategy should you be in, and then you understand, which of the strategies and what they all are about and how they work, now it's time for you to start finding the best deals. And that's what Chapter 5 is all about. And I love this quote from Colin Powell. He says, "There are no secrets to success. It is the result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failure." I was just talking about this with the student in the boardroom right now that I'm working with today. And he was talking about how when he first started, he had a lot of failures. He lost some money on deals. And one of the reasons he's here, right, is trying to figure out how to be better at his business. And, you know, we were talking back and forth about how failures are not bad. The only reason a failure would be bad is if you did not own that failure and learn from what you did wrong. Where failures are bad is when you try to blame other people and you say, oh, well, it couldn't have been me. It had to be somebody else for the reason that I failed. Then you learned nothing from that, which means ultimately it was a waste. You lost from it. So you've got to embrace your failures and learn from them. Because I'll promise you this, you'll learn more from failures than you'll ever learn from success. It's just the truth. So this is the power one. We dig into deal functions here. We talk about the two main types of leads and what you have to look for, and the difference between a private and a public seller lead. And we talk about how the many different types of seller leads. Seller would sell to me 50 cents on the dollar. I talk about here, well, a long time ago, a mentor. Oh, let me read this part to you. So there are deals everywhere. We proved that this weekend with 12 of our high-level coaching students, and we produced 20 deals, over 50 units, and over $135,000 in profits to be made on the flips and the wholesale deals. Deals are everywhere, guys. I mean, literally everywhere. Yet these will only become visible to you once you open your eyes to the opportunities around you. With real estate, we sometimes wonder what makes a good deal. Perhaps you question how a seller would sell to you for 50 cents on the dollar. I used to question that too. Well, a long time ago, a mentor of mine told me, Zach, stop worrying about what others will and will not do and start asking for what you want. And that was like a huge mind shift for me. Because I was constantly thinking, like, why would they do that? Why would they do that? And it would prevent me from being confident in asking for what I wanted. And when he said to me, stop worrying about what others will or will not do and start worrying about what you want, he's like, that and only then will you start getting out of life what you want. And I share that with you because it's powerful. It's very powerful. Because here's the saying we say all the time, some will, some won't. So what? Okay? So I dig into here about more deals and the different types of deals for each strategy and why you need to know what they are and how to determine the market cycle for the best deals and the quick strategy type deals and how we work those deals and look at those deals and how to set up criteria on the MLS to get the best deals out of them, how we go after for sale by owner deals. I mean, I talk about websites and seller financing and AdWords, and we talk about all kinds of this. So I put in here, I put a property under contract with the rights to assign my contract, and I sold that contract to another investor for $8,000 assignment fee. That deal came together in less than 10 days. As you can see, just letting people know that your professional interest, networking, and working deals with others is also a value from which you can make quick money from. Think about that, $8,000 in 10 days. That's a game changer, and it could change someone's life. That is the nice bit of extra money for anyone. You can do this too. As a coach once told me, Zach, your limitations are only what you set on yourself, and the lack of education is what prevents you from moving forward. And that is like hardcore truth right there. Here's Rick Horton. Well, that's a long one. That's a good one, though. But Rick talks about how he hired me to work with him, and I started working with him, and literally, you know, he went out and followed my direction, budgeted $60,000 on a deal, ended up buying the deal, sold it for $245,000, made a profit of $50,000. That's amazing. He says, because of Zach, I am sure we will have a prosperous real estate business. In fact, we're so confident that I've just quit my job and we are well on our way to financial freedom. I love that. People I work with quitting their jobs. You know, I think that's a beautiful thing. Chapter 6, researching your deal. Okay? Yes.
I got choked.
Researching your deal, right? I wrote in here a quote from me, and it says, real estate investing is not emotional. Learn how to run your numbers, trust your numbers, believe in the numbers, and you will know if the deal is a deal. It's not emotional. So chapter 6 is all about how you do your research and how you dig deeper into a property and how you understand the different ways to research. Because it's, listen, this is something you've got to listen to me right now. Just because the deal is a deal, meaning that the numbers make sense on the property and you can make money, does not mean that it's a deal. Just because the property shows profits does not mean that you need to buy that deal. You have to research the neighborhood too. I can't tell you how many times someone has hired me to help them with their business. And the very first phone call we have is they say, Zach, I've got this deal, or I got these 2 deals, or I got these 3 deals that I bought and they're not selling, or blah, blah, blah. And it's because they forgot the second research. Just because the numbers make sense does not mean you need to buy it. You got to research a little further. You got to make sure that that neighborhood has clustering in it. Are you buying a house that has good numbers in an area that no one's buying in? How would you ever sell that property? You got to really take it another step and understand clustering and buying zones and cluster patterns and segmentation. You got to really know that extra side of things. So chapter 7, we get into making offers and what you need to have in your contracts and what you don't need to have and how to keep yourself safe and what you can and can't say and what is an EMD. I really break down everything you need to understand, from inspection clauses to special clauses, to how we use letters of intent and how we make thousands of offers using letters of intent, and really just give you a good understanding of what all that entails. And then there's another story in here from Scott Walter. He's really done some amazing things. But chapter 8 is, do you need money or not? And this is a very important question. And I put a quote in here, and it says, if you always tell yourself you don't have money, you'll never have money. Change your mindset, change your life. Pretty short and sweet, right? Zack Childress. And in this chapter, I talk all about the big question, which is the financial needs for real estate. People always say, well, Zach, real estate investing sounds great, but you need a lot of money to do it, right? I do not have those kinds of resources, they say. That line of thinking is false. I can assure you, you do not need personal money to get into real estate. That is a guarantee right there, okay? You do not. I didn't. And I got started, okay? So you need to read chapter 8. Chapter 8 is like a key chapter in this book. Do you need money or not? Because I explain in chapter 8 what the difference is in the need or the want for money in real estate and what you really have to do real estate and being a creative real estate investor. So unfortunately, some people persist in saying things such as, yes, Zach, but I cannot pull that off. I do not have a job, or perhaps I do not have tax returns, or my credit is below 640. In this situation, you should focus on becoming a cash buyer. Those same people may say, what? Me, a cash buyer? Yes, because there's so many different ways we can structure a deal. I talked yesterday about how we can even buy deals with no equity in them. Guys, it's not about what you can't do. It's about what you don't know. Once you get the education and you learn how to do this stuff, man, it's a game changer. So you need to think about that. And so that's chapter 8, very important chapter. So I want you to also look at chapter 9, finding your buyers. So this is for all of those of you that are really trying to be a tier 1. You need to know where those buyers are at in chapter 9. Now look, if you're just joining me, we're digging deeper into My First Deal Playbook. This is a book that I just released. I just wrote it. I haven't even launched it yet. And I'm giving you a chance to get it for free right here today. All you need to do is share the video, like the page, and write in the comments, My First Deal Playbook. If you do that, I literally will cover all the cost on the printing of this book. The publishing, the printing, all of that I'll cover. All you need to do is cover the shipping. So that I stick it in an envelope, send it out to you, you cover the shipping. I will send you my free book, or my book to you for free. You cover the shipping. My First Deal Playbook, okay? This is yours for being here, following some simple directions. I'm digging into it so you guys have an idea of how invaluable this could be for you and why you need to be on that, okay? Chapter 9 is all about finding your buyers. I got some golden secrets inside here on this stuff, man. You need to really dig in here, especially if you're going to be a Tier 1 or a Tier 2 investor. David Arell's story's in here, and I can tell you that's a pretty powerful story you should read. Just to shorten this thing up, he said one of the challenges we faced was with funding for the types of deals that we wanted to go into. Zach got on the phone and helped us out. In the last, listen. In the last 60 days, we have gone from nothing to $2.7 million on the books. We have also closed 5 deals in the last 60 days and made almost $200,000. We have 3 in negotiation, 6 under contract, and 7 that are currently waiting to be sold. The best part about working with Zach is that he is always available when we need him. He has a fantastic infrastructure set up and a wonderful support staff. That's my staff right there. See? I know how to pick them, man. Actually, I don't pick them. They pick me. That's what I always say. All the best have picked me. They either came to me or they left and came back to me. That was a plug and Jill right there.
I seem to remember begging for a job, too, in the very beginning.
I remember that. We went to Bar Louie's and had lunch. I remember that.
Yeah.
All the best came to me, right? Look, even the best partner I ever had called me. You just got to sit and wait your turn. That's what I say. You just sit. Look, I always said this. I'm going to keep grinding. And I don't need to talk about what I'm doing. I'm going to show what I'm doing. And people are going to recognize it, and they're going to want to be on this Zach train. Woo, woo.
I think God had a lot to do with it all.
Well, God's got everything to do with what I do. So, yeah, everything. So, and David Arell says this: Zach will save you a lifetime by starting from day one. If you want to get there quicker and be on the leading edge of your business, you're going to need a mentor and a coach. If you're going to succeed in this business, you're going to need a person like Zach to help you. Zach and his team are dialed in. That is why we stay with them. That's a great story from a guy that did some amazing things. Now, chapter 10 says this: closing the deal and getting paid. Show me that money, man. Yeah. And here's from Andrew Carnegie. The wise young man or wage earner of today's invests his money in real estate. I mean, I couldn't have said it any better than old Andrew Carnegie there. So, he's a pretty smart guy. But in chapter 10, I talk a lot about the different ways to get paid on deals and how you can't look at every deal the same, because there's multiple ways to get paid, and you've got to open your mindset to these different ways and learn these ways, because you're leaving money on the table by being a one strategy deployment investor or being one line focused and not understanding how to really cultivate a deal into multiple ways to get paid. And so I share that with you because chapter 10's, man, I love all these chapters. Like, I mean, I'm just biased, I guess, but there's so many good chapters in this book. And chapter 11 is where we end on it, and it's all about what type of money can you make. And Marshall Field says this. I put this quote in here: buying real estate is not only the best way, the quickest way, the safest way, but the only way to become wealthy. That's it, guys. You got to jump on that bandwagon. And so I lay out in chapter 11 all these different ways to do this. And here's a great story from Timmy. And then I'm going to tell you what other people have said about this book. So Timmy said, when I started with Zack Childress, I was rehabbing properties and closing one transaction every 2 to 3 months. Within 3 months of working with Zack, he taught me how to implement systems into my business. And this year, I am averaging 8 to 9 transactions per month with an average income of $30,000 to $40,000 per month. I am on track to make $500,000 this year. Now I'll be able to start creating passive income and within the next few years retire. Thank you, Zach. You're the real deal. I'm grateful. I look for the opportunity to work with you and get coached. It has changed my life forever. That's such a great story from Timmy. Timmy did some amazing things, but Timmy listened. But in the beginning, she didn't listen. I had to slap her around a little bit. Well, not really, but you guys know what I mean. I'm going to get somebody like, oh my gosh, you're threatening to slap somebody. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying this. This is a powerful book. I want you to have this book. I want to send you this book for free. I want to, well, not, you got to pay the shipping and handling. But I will cover all the cost of printing, publishing, and getting this book together and all this, and I will ship it out to you. You just got to put in the lines down here in the comment section, My First Deal Playbook. You got to put that in there, and then we'll reach out to you to get it out to you. I want to share something with you. This is from Sarah and Kevin Gannon. My First Deal Playbook. I can, with real enthusiasm, highly recommend Zack Childress' book, My First Deal Playbook. This book is a natural for anyone looking for real-world inspirational ways to navigate and begin a real estate, or navigate the beginning of real estate deal outlook and methodology. In any age of information and web-based promises of the universe on a platter for nothing down and zero effort, Zack outlines the real deal. Zack can-doism is complemented with a very real outline of an approach for entry into the marketplace. That's key if you listen to that. Zack's promise of success is in no way unconditional. His reality-based model assumes the reader is willing to engage in the work and willing to confront attitudes, if in a general shake of the shoulders away. Whatever that meant. If curious and terrified and terrific, if curious, a terrific read. If committed, go for it. Well, that was some language that I had a hard time reading. I got some other ones here. Here's a good one for you. I'm not good at reading books, but My First Deal Playbook is really good. For someone that doesn't know how to get started on real estate, this is the book for you. We have been working on a real estate business for a little while now, and it would have been nice to have a book like this when we started. Want to thank Zack for writing this book and hope to have a great relationship with him and a wonderful team. That was from Robin. Love that. This is from Jan. Okay, I was the one giving out the. I have the one given out at the event, and yes, I read it. Very simple, put, and understandable. This is great. Thanks. Here's one from Patrick. Zack's new book is the ultimate guide to all success real estate training. We need to put this out to more people in the public. I think he's right. We do need to get it out to more people in the public. So I got a lot of like A+, very good, great read, tons of that. Here's one from Jonathan, it looks like. I received the book from Charlotte, read it airport on the way home. See, I told you guys you could read this quick. He's like, this is a great book. Everyone needs to read it. Here's another one from Patricia. I just finished Zack's book and found it to be a wealth of information and, more importantly, a guidance map like direction to help with knowing what to do first, next, and etc. Attending the conference was phenomenal, but so much information was shared at that event, it made my head spin. Of course, this was a good thing to receive so much information, but with the book, I was able to take it in at my own pace and revisit anything I wanted to understand at a later and better time. Love that. Love that. She also says, although I have finished it, I'm reading it again to digest the information and get it into my spirit and grab on to the nuggets given out through that book. This is from Joseph. This book is a game changer. It has practical guidance for any newbie as well as seasoned real estate investors. If you're looking to get a good foundation of real estate knowledge, this is the book for you. Guys, I mean, they just keep coming in. That's why it's here for you. It's here for you. But you need to get it. I'm not going to give this away for long. You understand me? So you better get your copy. Yes, Jill.
There are people on here that did get the book in Charlotte. And so there is some comments here in the comment section.
Awesome.
So Toby, she's got it. Tia, she says, "Kay, I need this book. Love it. Go Zack."
Way to go, Tia. Look, you got to write it in the book. My First Deal Playbook. You got to write that in there. Put it in the comments.
Susan says she loved this book. She read it on the plane going home from Charlotte. Now she followed this wonderful advice.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks, Susan. Love you.
Rob says, "My First Deal Playbook. Loved it."
Way to go, Rob. You know what? That book loves you. Just give it a hug when you need to feel loved, okay?
You're a poet. You didn't even know it.
That book loves you. Give it a hug when you need some love.
I also want to do a disclaimer for you for where you're reading that and you're having a hard time reading. No.
Oh, these little... Yeah, look what she gave me. I don't know if you guys can see that, but look how... I mean, I need a magnifying glass for that.
I just want to do a disclaimer for him.
Don't show the emails and phone numbers.
It's so tiny.
Yeah, that is... yeah, it's little bitty. It's little bitty. That's okay. It just makes me realize I'm getting older. You know, I need to be like this right here.
I'll book you an eye appointment.
No, I don't need glasses. So, well, that's some nice comments coming in that have read it. I'm telling you guys, it's a good book. You need to get this thing. You need to get it, read it, put it into practice, and you need to live by it. It needs to be like on your bedstand at night. You need to read a chapter a day if you can, or read the whole thing and highlight it and go back through it and be committed to it. So, but you get a chance to get a copy for free. You pay the shipping and handling and you get it for free. How about that? That's a deal right there. Why did I put this together? I put it together for you. What? You pointing at me? Oh. Am I getting a little too crazy over here?
No.
Oh, by the way, did I tell you about our event? I got event tickets. If you have not registered for our event, you need to. You need to call the office, 707-247-4248. You need to call and talk to a student advisor. I got an event coming up in Denver. I'm going to sell out of this event quick because we're doing a small event in Denver. It's not going to be a big event. It's small, keeping it little. We can only get a little room. So when we run out of seats, we're out. We're already almost out of the gold tickets. Only got a few of those left. I guess I still got a few of the silvers left, but we got a lot of the general admission still left, probably about 30 seats or so of the general admission. But you guys got to get on board. General admission, it's easy. $97 seat deposit. You get it back on Sunday. Well, not on Sunday, but you stay till Sunday and you get it back, okay? But you got to get involved in that. There's a link in the description how to get to our event. Denver, come to the event. Engage. Be part of what we do. It's all about you, and that's what I want you to be part of, okay? Well, that's a wrap for me today, unless there's any other questions that have came in.
That's everything.
Awesome, guys.
I just want to remind
Get a copy of your book.
You have to have the questions in order to ask them, and you have to have somebody to ask them to.
And I'm here to answer your questions. Get a copy of your book. Put it in the description, My First Deal Playbook, or put it in the comment line. My First Deal Playbook. Share this video, like this page. We'll send you a book. You pay the shipping and handling. See you guys.